The market is adjusting and normalizing, and it's a bit chaos out there for people. And Robby, my man, people are freaked out right now about what to do. And wouldn't you know it, you and I have gone and written a literal blueprint for people called the Perfect Real Estate Agent Blueprint. And we have a step-by-step guide on how people can save their hides. So with that being said, gang, my name's Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty and Hatch Coaching. We are serving all over North America with our coaching company. We do some pretty awesome stuff here in our backyard of Fargo, North Dakota. My partner, Robby T, is the OG of ISAs, one of the guys that really got it rolling and built out something so special, and now is the top lead conversion coach in the country. Robby, what are you feeling and seeing out there right now?
Oh, man, I haven't seen people this scared since in the real estate market since COVID broke out. And people are starting to become nervous, anxious, in the real estate industry itself, right? There's just so much uncertainty about, man, where's my business going to come from? But I also think there's actually two different experiences in real estate right now. There's those who are beginning and have laid the foundation to thrive during times like this. And then there's those where this shift is showing a crack in people's armor. So I think, this is either the best of times or the worst of times, depending on your mindset.
And yet we've declared this as opportunity time. This is separation season. This is the chance in which we can redefine our businesses. And I want to say this, people that have built businesses over the last 2.5 years, and I heard a stat, something like 60% of all realtors got into the industry in the last couple of years, which is a crazy, crazy thing because their habits aren't where they need to be. Their business mindset is not where it needs to be. But even more so, the industry for the last 20 plus years has encouraged people to go into build teams. And we're seeing people that are building teams in a really, really irresponsible way. They are bleeding money. Robby's wearing shorts today and it's snowing tomorrow in Fargo. So excellent gams there, Bobby. Gang, there is chaos amongst what's happening with teams. I'll say this is I just picked up a new coaching client. They're a team of two. It's a husband and wife duo. And they're in a market with an average sales price of their average commission is about 12 grand. And I asked them, what did you make last year? What was your actual take home? And their actual take home together was $1.2 million. Okay. They didn't have any admin support. Realistically, they didn't buy any of their business and they made $1.2 million. That's great money. That's $600,000 a piece. And then I said, well, what was your time investment with that? And then I watched the sadness come over their eyes. And they looked at me and they basically said, Erik, can you help with this? We're in the situation. And then on the other side of the coin, I have some teams that I know and coach and I'm very connected with that are doing, $5-6 million in GCI. And if you ask them, what did you make last year? Their answer is $200,000, $300,000. Now, their time wasn't sucked in like the first set, but instead they were making minimal money on maximum risk. And both those models have flaws in them. If you are watching this right now, I'm like, yep, my flaw is I don't make enough money because I'm running an inefficient team, or my flaw is I'm losing all my time. And guess what? We got you. This entire time together is to cover your butts and to help you advance your business, regardless of whichever side of the coin you're on. But it's irresponsible of us not to take a look at where we are today. Robby, we have talked and preached about this idea of micro teams and that it comes to your own personal production that makes you a ton of money. You and I get to coach people all over North America. And what do you see for people following that old adage of, I want to get out of production. I want to run to this next level. What is the big, oh crap, that tends to happen there?
It's almost always one of two things. Actually, it's always one thing is I want to grow a real estate team. And I always ask, well, tell me why that is. Help me understand your desire behind that. And the answer almost always is a combination of I want to make more money and I want to work less. right? It's almost always
That's the
that.
American dream. I mean, the American dream used to be like home ownership, and now it's I want to make as much as possible and work as little as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's evolved a little bit. And people have thought for so long that the ticket to making more money and working less, creating more freedom in their lives, is hiring agents. So this is what we see when we talk about growing a team. Really what that should be code for, right? It shouldn't be called growing a team. It should be called hiring a crap ton of agents and hoping it works out. And there's a couple different flaws that we traditionally see. One is these people, of course, are not super quality, so they don't convert anywhere near as well as they should. But more importantly, almost always for the rainmaker, they end up working more and actually making less. Now, let's say it all works out. I think actually the best case scenario, if it works out like it's supposed to, is your story, Hatch. And it's actually kind of a nightmare story in some respects. So best case scenario is you come in, you start handing all your buyers because you're only doing listings, right? Or you eventually turn that over to a listing agent, a buyer agent. You're out of production and you hand everything over to other agents on your team. And Erik, tell us about the nightmare a little bit.
I get out of production in 2014. And I was a big producer. I was running a team also, but in 2013, I did 153 transactions myself. No showing partner, no DocuSign. I just hustled. In 2014, I did 149 transactions, over 300 deals in a 2-year period. And then my daughter was born October 28th, 2014, and I got out of production. And I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I grew a big team and I handed all my personal production to other people. And therein lies the flaw of all flaws with this, is when you hand over your personal production, what you're telling to your sphere and to your relationship folks is that you are no longer their realtor. You're handing off the transaction and you unintentionally hand off the relationship. And so I've seen a diminishing return. Robbie, I just looked at my numbers for the year. Do you know how many sphere deals I've done?
I don't think I want to know the number.
I went from doing 150. Now, 50 of those were a builder that I had represented, right? So I really 100 sphere deals, 15 sphere deals. I have lost the majority of those relationships. People don't look at me as the guy. I was making more in 2014 than I'll make in 2022. Oof. My own personal production was the way in which I could protect my cash. Because right now people are freaked out about their cash, what to do, how to do it. And gang, your personal production is your fastest way, bar none, to profitability. Now, we need to protect your time in this and protect your money. And that's what the perfect real estate agent blueprint does, is we're protecting your time and your money. We're going through a massive amount of efficiencies. Now, this book, if you don't have it on your shelves yet, stick around at the end because we have a free offering for you to get you a copy of this book. Ooh, you got to just pay shipping and handling, and we're going to get you a free copy because we are convinced we want to change the way in which this industry is run. But Robbie, people build their businesses in all different sorts of ways, right? We talk about 4 different types of leads that people can get. And some people, like my aforementioned group that did 1.2 million, that's all earned business on Facebook and relationships and referrals and past clients. A zero expense, lots of time in, but a zero expense. Robbie, what are the 4 categories people need to know about?
Yeah, so let's start with the best, I guess you could say, to build your business off of. So we'll go from best to worst. The best, hands down, is PCSOI, your self-procured opportunities, your
past clients, sphere of influence.
Yep. Yes, so your friends, your family, all those past clients, your homies, and your family, right? All of it.
Now, Robbie, an MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, they use these numbers. They say for every 12 people in your database, that's PCSOI, you should get 2 pieces of business annually. The reason they don't cut that down to 1 in 6 and just fractionalize it is they say of every 12 people, one of them will give you a referral and one of them will give you their own personal business. But that's 17%. MREA2, which is this mythical book that is supposedly written but not out, they've cut that down to 2 in 20. But nonetheless, 10% of the people in your PCSOI bucket should turn into a closed transaction. I mean, it should. And I look at, I got 6,500 past clients with Hatch Realty over the last decade. And if that math is true, I should have 650 transactions just from that. I mean, we did 1,023 transactions last year, which was great, but like our most underserved group is this. And so Robby, before we share the other 3, what are some of the steps and recommendations you have for the amount of touches somebody should give? Because we want to give people an actual blueprint. How many touches, how many check-ins, how many nudges and nurtures should we be giving to our PCSOI?
So we're going to keep it extremely simple today. And let's talk about what really matters here. It's all about touches to build mind share with your past clients. The biggest reason people don't do business with you or give you referrals is one simple reason: they forget about you because you forgot about them. So everything we're about to say, just know that in these touches, the core foundation of it is based off the idea of reciprocity. Reciprocity is the idea that if I give value to you, you will give value back in some way, shape, or form. And that value can be literally giving somebody something of tangible value, like a free pie, where we gave away how many last year, Hatch?
About 1,800. We'll do 2,000 this year. Yep.
2,000 free pies. And just so you all know, in Fargo, there's about 250,000 people in our serviceable market, give or take. A lot of freaking pies to individual families.
Robby, did you know that's over 7.6 million calories? Little fun fact for you.
That is all. That is thank you. God bless Costco.
Yeah, I mean, we're hot on client events, and we think client events, you should do a minimum of 2 a year. And you don't need to grow something big. You don't need to do something that's like this massive undertaking that everybody oohs and ahs at. In fact, smaller is more intimate and better. But the goal of a client event, and it doesn't have to be clients either. It can just be friends and family and community. The goal of it is so that somebody feels heard, seen, valued, and cared for. And the mistake people make, Robby, is they transactionalize these and they just send auto emails and they just send. Do you know how many stupid text messages I've gotten today to vote? I mean, it's voting day, which is great. And you should go vote. I did vote. Look at that handsome sticker this morning. Those are all super important to do. But do you think I'm engaging in an automated anything? No, I'm not. In fact, if you're my friend, if you're my former realtor, if I get automation from you, I'm more salty than I am sweet. And so we recommend 2 client events, and there's 3 touches on each event. What are those, Robby?
Yeah. Invite, remind, and thank. So that right there is 6 touches per year that you should be doing at bare minimum. Inviting somebody, reminding them to show up, and thanking them for coming, or saying, hey, I missed you. Sorry you couldn't make it. It's truly, it's really funny. I sent a podcast to you, Erik, yesterday.
I haven't listened yet. It was a day yesterday.
You just, how dare you? How dare you?
I'm sorry.
It was from Alan Stein Jr., who is one of the most elite coaches who has studied, observed Kobe, RIP Mamba, and other phenomenal athletes. And the biggest thing that I will say right now, Erik, that I just had to digress for a dang moment, is people are looking for all these freaking shiny objects because things are tough right now. It's not shiny. It is doing the simplest dang thing in the world, which is reach out to your friends or family. You don't need to call, by the way. If you don't want to call, go ahead, right? Send a personalized text to somebody saying, hey, was thinking of you this morning. Super cool to see that Finley's been crushing in soccer this summer, whatever the heck the story may be, right? Personalize it. By the way, it's that time of year again where we're giving away a free pie. Can I count you and your family in? And here's what's funny. People say, yes, but you gotta customize it. Customize it as much as you can.
Yeah, you customize the first couple sentences and then you can copy and paste. Yep. So let's because we got a lot to cover here.
Yep.
We're looking at 12 touches a year that are
Yes.
customized. Yes, you can still automate. You can give people these types of things, and I think it's a great opportunity. Now, touches 7 and 8 are house anniversaries and birthdays. Gang,
Yes.
you need to hear this very clearly, is that your greatest CRM is not Sierra Interactive or Follow Up Boss or Brivity. Your greatest CRM is social media.
Yep.
Facebook especially tells you all the information you need to know about somebody. When is their anniversary? When is their birthday? Your job, obviously, if you sold them a house, is you should know their house anniversary. So that is a touch and a reach out to let them know that you're grateful for them. Here's a fun little thing that I did, and this has also been my most popular TikTok. Should be known. Actually, I think it's my second most popular, but nonetheless, here's my favorite thing to do is we partner with a company locally called Nothing Bundt Cakes. And we went to them and we said, hey, do you want some more business? And they said, yep. And we said, hey, can we get a discount if we bring you a bunch of business? They said, well, we're listening. And I said, well, what if we give all of our past clients a free gift certificate to Nothing Bundt Cakes? But I only want to pay for that gift certificate when it's actually cashed in. Because how many gift certificates sit in your car? How many gift cards are in your junk drawer that just sits there? And the goal is to make the person feel seen, heard, valued, and cared for on their birthday, their house anniversary, whatever it may be. And it doesn't need to be something that costs you anything until they cash it in. And so we negotiated with Nothing Bundt Cakes that when they turn those in every month, they're going to invoice us and we get a 20% discount. We win because we're paying 20% less, and I'm not having to buy everybody everything. I'll pay for it when they cash it in, but I'm not going to irresponsibly spend my money. We put a time frame of that month on there. If they come the next month, I don't care. We'll still give it to them, but we just want to incentivize people to keep us front of mind. So that little thing is touches 7 and 8. First 6 are with client events. The next 2 are with house anniversaries and birthdays. The last 4, these are I'm thinking of you. Hey, I drove past your house. I was just checking in, seeing how your family's doing. It's social media is going to give you an insight to the world. If you are stuck on what to do, simply gratitude is the fastest vehicle to make a connection with somebody. No agenda whatsoever. Robbie, in any of these, are we asking for a referral?
No.
Never.
Nope. No.
Now, I want to say it is okay to ask for referrals if you frame it as a business conversation. Okay. So I want to use this language, and we're going to move on to this because we have 3 other things to talk about before we're even going to get to the actual blueprint, but it's important that we give the lay of the land. When you ask for a referral, you first say, hey, can I have a business conversation? And then I say, Robbie, you know what? This last year, this market has been wild, and I've seen a lot of people make irresponsible choices with buying and selling houses. I would feel terrible if somebody you really cared about made an irresponsible choice as well. And so if you think I'd be a great representative or worthy of a referral, because you know Emily and I have huge goals this year, and we loved helping you and Lauren find your house. If you think I'm worthy of a referral, can I teach you how to give you a referral? Or how to give me a referral? Because if so, I just want you to make a text message, because all the time I hear, hey, I referred you to my coworker and that person never calls. And I feel terrible that I can't help out the person that you care so deeply about. And so, Robbie, if you would please send a text message, introduce me to that person. It's a 3-way text, and I will take it from there, and I'll make sure that I will serve you and Lauren and your referrals so exceptionally well if you think I'm worthy of it.
Yeah, I think the big thing that matters in that is we have to instead of asking for referrals, what we're doing is we're training people how to give us referrals. Because I've always asked, it's funny, I was on a call with Colton Whitney, who is probably one of the best at this.
Yeah.
And I asked Colton, how many times have you asked for referrals and it actually worked? They gave you a referral right then and there. And they put up the big old goose egg, right? Because it doesn't work that way. Rather, let's treat people in a way, let's make them feel seen, heard, and valued. Let's provide value to people so we are top of mind. So when they hear someone thinking about buying or selling, they've been trained by you. Oh, Erik said the thing to do is to do a group message between the 3 of us. And I actually think you can even name more directly, hey, I want to tell you one thing, Hatch, that's been a pain point in my world is I hear all the time from friends like you that, people have sent over a referral, and sure as heck, I never heard from them. And then go into what you just did, where you train them on how to give the referral in a group message so it doesn't slip through the cracks. But I think that's so incredibly key. You got to be bringing value to people.
100%. 100%. Hey, we have 3 more things that we want to cover with you in terms of where to get business. The first is PCSOI. Robbie, what's the next most valuable?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's right. I forgot we were talking about those. I would say the second
Got to bring it on
best
back.
is reputation. And reputation is a combination of reviews. It is advertising. It is anything that people are reaching out to you because they've heard good things. So I would just simply say
reputation. I'd also say is your social media presence, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Leaning on those and building that out matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 other ones because the first 2 are earned. Earned is always better than bought, but the next 2 are bought. Rank these for me, Bobby.
I would say my third favorite is your nurture, your long-term nurture leads. So these are things like pay-per-click leads. Some people buy Facebook leads or Instagram. I would simply stick with Google PPC. So that's the third one. These are more long-term leads. They generally convert at 18 for us. It's 18 to 24 months. And you're rarely going to see a conversion rate above 2-ish% from most people, unless you have a really great ISA department who's nurturing and staying in front of those opportunities long-term.
So is it okay that we say that for somebody to reach their goals this next year, all of these categories we've addressed need more touches and more attention than they ever have before?
Oh gosh. Yeah. 100%. It takes more, just simply more.
But here's what people do, Robbie. Here's what people do. They have a theory, but they don't have execution. I have to do more. And so you say, well, I have to do more. But if you don't follow a literal blueprint of a step-by-step, the 12 touches we just told you for your PCSOI, those should be standard. That's 2022 standard. If you need 2023 results, you should make that 18. You should increase your effort. You can't just take a theory and say, well, hey, I learned from Erik and Robby that I have to do more. Instead, you have to identify what more is and actually take that step. So here it is. If you need me to tell you what to do, if you were doing 12 to your PCSOI, you should do 18 now. If you were doing 3 social media posts a week, you should do 5. If you're doing 1 video a week, you should do 2. Whatever it is, you need to do more, but you need to identify what that is, because if you don't have a blueprint, you're going to wonder, how the hell did I get here? And it's because you didn't follow a plan.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk number 4 quick, and then we're going to move on. Number 4.
This is probably the
most expensive, highest addictive lead source.
Yeah, it's the cocaine of real estate is what I call these.
The old booger sugar is what they call
booger
it.
sugar. Yep. That's right. Property inquiry leads. For most people, this is Zillow or Realtor.com or any type of referral-based type lead. It is someone who has raised their hand saying, I want to learn more about a property or I want to go view a home. And the margin on these convert at higher levels than PPC leads, but your margins, man, goodness sakes, they are expensive.
Now, before we dive into the blueprint, and we're going to give you a literal step-by-step of what you need to do in order to grow. Before you dive into that, there's 2 areas you need to focus on. And this is based on the idea that if you want to be more successful, if you want to make more money, you need to do one of 3 things. So before I get to the 2, let's talk about one of 3. You need to sell more. You need to spend less. You need to find efficiencies. And sell more and spend less. There are, in our blueprint, we have literal steps of what you can do to sell more and what you can do to spend less. But it's these efficiencies that I think make all the difference. And so there's 2 efficiencies I want to bring to your attention. The first is going from lead to set appointment. Okay, so when that new Zillow lead or that new forced registration Google lead comes in, what are you doing? Robbie, give us a very brief blueprint of what somebody should be doing in order to win with this.
Yeah, with almost every lead source, you have to be texting them almost immediately these days with really anybody who has reached out. So texting them immediately and pairing that with a call for higher quality lead sources, those property inquiries that we were talking about, somebody who's raised their hand saying, I want more information.
How often should you text somebody, Robbie?
We generally would be reaching out, texting them multiple times in the first couple of days. You should be sending what we call a 6-minute text after that first text. And simply what that does is says something like, let me know what you're thinking. And the biggest thing.
So 6 minutes after you send the first text, you're sending a second text.
Correct.
To re-engage.
100%. And in most cases, this should be completely automated. It should not be you hand jamming, sending these. You can automate this because these leads are coming from the same places and the same background over and over and over again, and it can be scaled. Unlike
Robbie, this is not meant to be a sales pitch, but you built out all this automation within Follow Up Boss, Chime, Sierra, and Ylopo. Yes.
Yes, 100%. Yep. And our stuff, hands down, the best version of it, Sierra Interactive. But yes.
Okay. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing to get somebody from the lead that hits your inbox to a set appointment. Mm-hmm. So from the time which they register to the set appointment, and Robbie's quick little blueprint there should help you get there. I want to talk about going from set appointment to close transaction. That is the next thing, right? So you got to capture the lead and then you got to convert the lead. And full transparency is Hatch Realty, my company. We're not a 10 out of 10 on these right now. We are leaning into this massively with a blueprint to say this is what we're going to do. And so everything is now scored and graded. And I got to tell you, your marriage to and following a plan in your CRM is half the battle. Doing what it says you are supposed to do when you are supposed to do it will provide you with ample results over time. But the other piece that I want to lean into are the daily commitments. Okay. There's a book called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. It talks about lead measures and lag measures. The lag measure is I sold 10 houses, but the lead measure is I called 20 people a day. Right. And I want to change that. No, don't say lead and lag. I want to say we have commitments and goals. Change your language to start talking about commitments and goals, because the commitments that you need to make as agents in order to reach your goals is you have to have a clear blueprint. So here are the things that matter. The first is role playing. Are you practicing daily? We recommend 30 to 45 minutes, 4 days a week. Role play daily. If you're a solo agent, find some other people, right? One of the things is we joined up at Real Brokerage, and we have a network of people there now that are raising their hands saying, I want to practice. And I know a lot of you, we were independent before, so we didn't have anyone, and now we do. So that's one of the great value adds when you're tied to a brokerage in general. That's a national brokerage. So the first is to role play. Second is to lead generate. And when I'm talking lead generation, I'm not saying that I'm going to stumble my way through it. I'm going to make a call here, and then after 10 minutes, I'm going to send a text message. I'm saying you have a plan. We have what's called an RWOD, a realtor workout of the day. Here's what you need to identify. You need to identify the who are you contacting? If it's open house leads, let it be nothing but open house leads for that day. This is lead generation for new business. You identify the who, you identify the how. How are you going to contact them? Text message, handwritten note, phone call, social media post. You identify the how, and then you identify the why. Why are you contacting them? Who, how, why? When you identify the why, make a list. We did this with our team. We have a list of like 40 different who's and 40 different hows and 40 different whys, right? I'm calling to give you an update on the market. I'm calling to check in to see how your new house is. I'm calling to see if you got the email I sent. Like, I don't care what it is. Identify the who, the how, and the why, and you will have a much better chance to have focused lead generation. Don't have it be distracted lead generation. Okay. Last piece here, as we've talked about this, is we have to take a look at, we covered the who, the how, and the why. Before that, Robbie, we covered, I just lost my place.
You were sell more, spend less, find.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're talking about efficiencies. Thank you. So I got to get back to converting. After lead generation, we first had role play, then lead generation. I got back there. I went to my happy place, but I got back there. The third and final thing that matters is lead follow-up. And lead follow-up is anybody who you have connected with or tried to connect with before. And I have to tell you that this lead follow-up is where most people lose because they don't schedule it. They just randomly go after it. And if you want to be disciplined with lead follow-up, I think you need a time block for 30 to 60 minutes a day. and do what your CRM tells you to do. And then in this next season, do more. Identify what more is for you, but do more. My agents are now charging forward, doubling their touches of their lead follow-ups. So
yeah,
we got there.
We need to hit on what you just said, which is simply step one is do what you're supposed to be doing already. It is shocking how many people have great intentions with almost no follow through. You have to be actually executing. And then in this season, we have to be willing to do more. And the reality is, the way I like to view times like this is nothing but a season. There are seasons where we are overwhelmed with an abundance of business. And there are seasons where we are overwhelmed with additional time. And this is one of those times where we can go take that time and reinvest it to go create business. Because it's funny, Hatch, a year ago, everybody was complaining about something. And today they're complaining about something. It just changes.
I think people just complain. So with that, those are some of the foundational pieces in order for you to succeed. It's your personal production. It's you focusing on your business. We're covering all this in the Perfect Real Estate Agent Blueprint. And so with all that being said, let's talk about what the blueprint is going to teach you, because your goal is to make more and to work less.
Yep.
Your goal is to have an ideal life, but there are consequences for the wrong choices. Most people do what I did. You hire a bunch of people and you throw your own personal at-bats to them, as well as your company at-bats to them. And what you see is really bad conversion. The reason why is because I've been doing this gig for years. When I got out of production, I had sold, I think I had 650 homes under my belt. I was a pretty seasoned realtor. I was better than most in my area because I had so many at-bats and so much practice. A new kid comes around. So if you gave me 5 at-bats, 5 opportunities, whether it be sphere or purchase leads, I would close all 5 of those. If we're talking $10,000 a transaction, that's $50,000. Now, here's what most people say is, I'm going to hire an agent and that agent's going to come and I'm going to put them on a 50-50 split. I'll give them 5 at-bats. They're going to close all 5 of them. So I'm going to make 25 grand passively. And that agent's going to make 25 grand passively. But Robby, what's the truth?
If they convert 2, you're lucky. Yeah. That's if you kill it with your training and you crush it. You're lucky if they convert 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. Can we all agree that new, undertrained, not seasoned agents are not as good at real estate as a seasoned person who has a ton of bats recently? I'm not talking about the old-timey veteran who says, I've been in this business 25 years and well, you sell 8 houses a year. So that's not what I'm going to bet on. There's nothing wrong with selling 8 houses a year, but I'm going to bet on somebody who did 40 last year because they are ripe and ready in today's market. Right. That's who I would put my trust in, as the person who did the most recent surgeries, not the person who's been a doctor for 40 years, but they do 4 surgeries a year. Okay. So with that being said, we understand that if they're going to get 2 out of 5, you just lost a ton of money and opportunity. They're starving because these are going to take a while to convert and then they're going to take a while to close. And so you're setting that agent up for a loss. You're setting your client up for a loss because they're not going to get great representation.
And the other piece that happens, Hatch, is we try to spend ourselves out of that problem. We hire coaches, we buy more leads, we buy better leads, and we keep trying to throw more money at this problem.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
And then you have to take a look here. I just lost $40,000, right? If they close 2 out of 5, I get 10 grand when I could have had 50. I hope you're leaning in saying, oh, how do I get there? Because Robby and I wrote a book and a blueprint to help you get there. So we're going to go to the old slideshow. We're going to pitch to, I got to get it ready. I thought I had it ready. Shame on me. Okay.
You thought you had it ready.
Okay, there we go. Now I got that. Okay. So we're going to go to the old slideshow and I'm going to walk you all through this, an actual literal blueprint and model to help you to win. Okay. So what we're talking about right now is called a micro team. A micro team is a small, robust, concise, not bigger than 7 people team built around you and your personal production. That can be earned business, that can be purchased business, it can be both. But instead of hiring a bunch of agents, you're hiring people to work directly with you, and you stay in the driver's seat. They get their MBA in real estate underneath you. You pay them a salary. You give your clients a better experience. You give this new person in an industry with an 87% failure rate, you give them an 87% success rate by working underneath you. I had this conversation with one of my agents yesterday who brought on an agent. And Robby, we've given this new agent 40 appointments this year.
Uh-oh.
Do you know how many of those they've closed?
Oh gosh. Probably 5.
2.
Oh no. Oh no.
This new agent, 2 of them.
Oh geez.
2 appointments. 2 friggin' appointments they've closed.
I don't even
out
wanna,
of 40.
I don't even want to.
Do you know what his team lead has closed?
Probably close.
She's been given 60 appointments. Do you know how many of those she's closed? She's closed 20 of them. This model is playing out. And I said to this gal, I'm like, why don't you just have him be your partner? Why don't you bring him alongside, have him be your showing partner? She's like, I don't know if that's what he wants. Well, he's running a business right now where we're burning money on him and he's starving to survive. This is the better solution for everybody. She's going to make more money. The company's going to make more money. He's going to make more money, and the client's going to get a far better experience. I'm fiery right now, Robby, because most people don't see this opportunity. And so let's talk about the foundation. This first hire that you do should come when you as a solo agent are doing 25 to 35 transactions. If you are on a team, the first 2 hires of admin and admin are traditionally provided for you. Robby, talk to us about admin hire number 1.
Yeah, almost always your admin hire number 1 is what I would refer to as like your detail or take things off my plate admin. So it's all that transaction management that you're probably not that good at to begin with. It's taking those details off the plate. It's the mess cleaner who is cleaning up the messes you're leaving behind, because when
they're
you're
doing transaction coordination, listing coordination, runner responsibilities, they're bringing your dog to the vet, they're helping you to breathe. They should not work on any new projects.
No, none at all. It's just taking projects that currently are just grinding you into the ground so you can breathe again. They're taking a little bit off your plate.
Admin number 2, this hire is now to help you to grow. Projects that you're working on, past clients care, outreach, marketing ideas, social media engagement. They are now moving you. And you need to understand this. That first admin hire, if you're 25 to 35 transactions, I can say with confidence that that admin taking those minutia killing things off your plate should increase your business at least 15 transactions.
Easily. Yep.
You will get a minimum of a 3-to-1 ROI on this first admin hire. In the dollars that they will bring in, plus the time that they will afford you. We're only measuring in dollars, but if we measure in time, oh my gosh, does this person help you? And do they deliver a better level of service that will compound to referrals and repeat business over time? This second admin, again, so let's say you were doing 30 transactions. Now you're doing 45. This new admin comes in and guess what? They help you to grow to 60 transactions or 55 transactions, another 15, because they're now bringing on new projects. And let's be really clear on this math here. I got to get off this because you need to see the whites of my eyes. No, this is super important. People think that hiring agents is going to make them more wealth. Robby, I work a day a week with Hatch Realty now. It's taken a long time to get here, but this week alone, it is Tuesday as I record this. I've already worked 2 days this week in Hatch Realty, and I'm about to work like 6 more. And it's all complication from agents and growth pains. And I love my company. I love my people, but most people are not designed to take on the responsibility and management of a bunch of people.
Well, let's pause there for 1 second, Hatch, because I think people need to hear this very clearly. What's really funny about this blueprint is a lot of this blueprint came from the ways we wish we would have done it. how we've done it for other people, agents in our business who have had massive success. We did not do this from the beginning. And we'll talk about this, how we have trained and coached and helped other people do it.
And now it happens on a micro scale on our team, right? People are living. I have agents who are making $500,000 in Fargo, North Dakota, following this model, working 50 hours a week. Like, come on, y'all. That's like $3 million in the rest of the country. That's serious wealth, because this is both from, like, I heard Damon John say this. It stuck with me. He said, you learn from two things. You learn from mistakes, which we did, and you learn from mentors, which now we are striving to be. And so this model here, now you're doing 60 transactions. You're not paying, if you have two admin, I'm imagining you're doing about 60 transactions.
Yep.
Those two admin, let's say, is going to cost you $100,000, $50,000 each. That's a lot of money. But you're keeping the full commission on 60 transactions. If that is $10,000 a transaction, which is about the average commission in the United States right now, that's $600,000 minus the $100,000. So that's a $500,000 life. If you have to buy the leads and that sort of, I mean, no, there's other expenses associated with it, but now we're helping somebody to live their best life because they're now maximizing dollars and they are minimizing their time. There's an agent locally here in Fargo that is looking to align forces with us. I've had a couple of great meetings with him, and I asked him, like, okay, what did you do before you started a team? He said, well, I was a solo agent. I did 35 deals a year. I said, well, what did you make on that? He's like, I took home about $230,000. Awesome, man. That's so much money. Good for you. Now that you're running your team, what are you doing? Oh, we're doing about 100 transactions a year. I said, what's your take home? What did your taxes say last year? He said, about $235,000, $240,000. Gang, if you haven't built a team yet, this is the story of the majority of teams that are out there. Is they're selling so much more and they're making the same, if not less. But there's a better way, and it's this micro team. It's your own personal production that will protect you. So that moves us to the partner. Robby, talk to us about the partner, because this is so sexy.
Well, I want to add one more piece to that is you're also, to add to what you were just saying, Hatch, people are taking on unnecessary risk in a lot of different ways. All right. So the partner, the partner, we used to call this showing partner. We have dropped showing because the partner comes in and they take over all the showings of homes. Basically, they become a mini version of you when it comes to taking care of your clients. And
they're the nurse to the doctor.
Nurse to the doctor. They're the ones out showing the homes. They're also once in a while running and putting the sign in the yard. They are your business partner, and they're coming in, they're getting paid a base salary. And as you said earlier, the whole value proposition for them is they come in and get their MBA in real estate and they get paid. There you go. You can go through that. I'll let you hit on it.
Oh no, like I don't need to say it because it's on the screen, right? I want people to know that this is a salaried position. We hear people say, well, I'm just going to pay this person commission. But what that doesn't solve is consistency for the partner.
Yep.
The idea of a partner and the tasks I'll get to in just a moment, but we have to think, how do we help them to win? That has to be the thought with every one of our things. How do we help our clients to win? How do we help our agents to win? And the way that they can win is by being a partner. They get consistency with a salary. It's not enough to give them a great life, but it's enough to make them hungry to climb for that next.
And this person, I think the biggest thing, number one, their job is to leverage you, to take things off of your plate. Number two is to train and learn the game of real estate at an exceptionally high level, to get that MBA, to learn how to do things better. They get
to earn while they learn, so that when they do graduate, because everything is earned, nothing is given. That is a philosophy that I will die on that hill with. If you want somebody to be massively successful, they need to earn while they learn, and they have to find their way to graduate. They shouldn't just be given the chance because now they've served X amount of time. They have to show competency, and the competency only comes on the other side of training.
Spot on. And then when they are out of leveraging, if they don't have any more showings or leverage for you to go and do, you don't have any task lists that need to be done that you need help with, and they have no more training to do, they get to do the beautiful thing called lead generation. And what I love about lead generation is it is never ending. There is literally no limit to the amount of lead generation that you can do. So the 3 responsibilities in job: leverage, train, and lead generate.
This partner will now help you sell an extra 20 or so homes. Let's go through it. In fact, okay.
Yep.
You're doing 30 deals a year, 10 grand commission. You do all the work. All the work. I know you're going to have probably admin involved too, but I'm just trying to keep this very narrow focused.
Yep.
$300,000 in GCI. That's a lot of cash. But 50 plus hours worked weekly. Okay. We're going to bounce back and forth on these. These are important for you to see. Take a look now. You bring on a partner. A partner should help you sell 15 to 25 more transactions in that first year. Robby, do you think there's any way I can hire an agent right now that's not a partner and that they're going to sell 25 transactions in their first year?
Unbelievably rare. I mean, yeah, go buy a lottery ticket and try to win 1.9 billion because you have a better chance of that.
But look at this. Look at this upper right corner. This partner in an average market will make $62,500. Does your talent pool become greater when you're not searching for somebody who lives on commission? And now you're finding that retail worker, you're finding that teacher, you're finding that nurse, you're finding that person who is massively hungry, but they didn't have the financial risk capacity to take the leap. And instead you're giving them 62 grand a year on a $40,000 base pay. But here's the win here. Look at this. Remember, we had said before that it was 300,000 in gross profit. Look at the bottom left, 300,000 in gross profit on your own. With this person, 387. You're going to make almost $100,000 more, but watch the hours. Look at 50 plus hours to do 30 deals, to do 45 deals, 35 to 40 hours.
Let's add 2 things, Hatch, real quick.
Please.
And then I want to kick it over to you I want to spark a thought, some stuff that's in your mind. Put that back up there for 1 second for me.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is in your business, most of us don't actually have a business. If it's just you doing all your production, you are completely self-employed. There is no insurance. You get sick, you are screwed. There is no backup. There's no one to cover for you. Some of y'all are on teams, and that's obviously the theory. And I think that's why theories or teams were first created, was to create some of that leverage. Well, this buys you that insurance policy. So when you are sick or when you want to go on vacation, let's just be real, right? For others, going on vacation was just something you're not able to do when you don't have leverage.
Oh, people go on trips. Yeah. They don't go on vacation, right? Like they are married to, and there's a difference between traveling with my kids and not traveling with my kids, right?
Yep.
And there's a difference between I went and I worked on a beach versus I vacationed on a beach. Those are very different things.
Mm-hmm. And nothing is more satisfying, because if you're working on a beach and you have a showing partner, you're taking an hour to write an offer and hopefully getting accepted. But here's the second thing, Hatch. 15 additional deals is so freaking light, because almost always, like, that's the worst case scenario. That's like if you take almost none of your time and reinvest it into generating more opportunities.
Yep.
You will fall into 15 more.
Robby, we've had partners that have brought in, just from their own procuring, 20 to 30 extra deals.
Mm-hmm.
And then that agent, when they take that extra time, I've seen people go from doing 30 deals, bringing on a partner, and they do 75 deals the next year.
Mm-hmm. What is the most deals you've ever seen an agent do with just one showing partner?
130.
Which is, don't get me wrong. He was.
I mean, like, I don't want to.
He wasn't working 35 hours.
No. I don't want to brag. I did 150, but I mean, that's without a partner, but that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
yes. I tell people all the time, you were one of the best agents, probably the best out there. But the point I wanted to get behind this is, these numbers are very conservative, and it's an insurance policy that actually pays you money.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing though, Hatch. I think you hit on it briefly, but you need to go back to it. You talked about how this helps you attract better talent. Mm-hmm. You've always talked about how people that get into real estate, you've talked about the sugar mama. I want you to talk about the people that are traditionally coming in compared to the pool that this allows you to pull from.
Yeah, there's 5 types of people that can get into real estate in a traditional sense. And I'm going to work on full-time commission. The first is somebody with a sugar daddy or sugar mama. The second is a trust fund kid. Both people have financial security, and sometimes that translates into a lack of hunger in a gig that requires a lot of hunger. The third is somebody with a part-time job. That was me. That's how I got in, was a part-time job. It took me 5 years to get into real estate full-time. The fourth is somebody with terrible spending habits. And so they're about to go, like, think about it. Let's say you get a buyer on the first day. Won't happen, but let's say you get a buyer on the first day. The average buyer looks for 10 to 12 weeks before they get an accepted offer. And then that home's going to sit in escrow for 4 to 6 weeks. And so if you can go 4 to 6 months without a paycheck, maybe you're going to make it. Okay.
Yep.
And then the last one is somebody who actually has 6+ months of savings that can ride this ride.
Which statistically is.
And so what we've done is we've now narrowed down a large talent pool into a very small microcosm of who could be potentially great. And the opportunity that's afforded when you bring on a salaried licensed partner is that you can open up your talent pool to everybody. Some of my best people were like engineers and construction managers making $80,000 a year. And then they came to take a job to work 30 because they said, you know what, if I can go and work and make 30 as my base pay, they made about 50 with commissions. Right. But they said, if I could take that step back, now these guys are making $300,000 to $700,000 a year. Okay. Sign me up. I want to bounce back. We're going to run out of time here. So Robby and I are chatty. Who would have ever have thought that?
Never.
There's 3 career paths for these partners. And this is now how you start getting back your time even more so. The first on top is the lifer. This is somebody who is probably a high S. And by the way, 67% of the world are high S's. So wouldn't you know it, more people than not would actually want to stay in a position like this, where they don't want the risk, they don't want the chaos, but they love working with people and don't mind some nights and weekends. A lifer is a great hire. A graduate is traditional. We say that we coach people. We say a minimum of 1 year as a partner and a minimum of 10 transactions that they brought in. Either they converted leads that the company had in a pond, or they brought in from their own sphere or procuring from like open houses and referrals. So they're going to graduate to be an agent on your team. So they get a chance to make that 50% commission that we were talking about. By the way, this is not an endorsement for a commission split. This is just a very rough general example. The third, and this is my favorite, is the empire builder. And instead of this person graduating off your micro team, they graduate up your micro team, meaning they're now running the transactions while they stay close to the power source, close to that high producing agent. We have a coaching client and friend who is doing this right now, and he lives in a market that has an average sales price of over $650,000. So the commissions are pretty hefty. Just from his own personal business, he's employing an empire builder, an admin for his micro team, and a showing partner. So they are a team of 4. With the compensation structure that's set up, this guy is bringing home 7 figures from his micro team. His net number is 7 figures from his micro team. He also has a team of about 30 people outside of that. He will make less than half of that. He will make less than $500,000 from his mega team, and he'll make $1 million from his micro team. Do I have your attention yet? Because he spends 5 hours a week on his micro team, and he spends 40 hours a week with his mega team. 5 hours a week for $1 million bucks, 5 hours a week for $1 million bucks, 40 hours a week for $500,000. You take a 0 off. I don't care what your numbers are. This model works for everybody.
Yeah. I was just going to say that this person has told me that it's 3 hours per week. So.
Okay. I want to close with this before we give you the big opportunity here. Is if you want to grow something big, if you want to protect your numbers, because we're scared right now, follow a blueprint, follow a plan. Robby T and I are here. Hatch Coaching is here. We're giving all this stuff for free for folks that are with us at Real. For those that aren't, guess what? Well, we have an opportunity for you to come and grab some stuff at Hatch Coaching. We have products and webinars and videos and all that's available for you. But this book right here, The Perfect Real Estate Agent Blueprint, we're going to give to you for free. What's the cost? It's free fitty. Oh my gosh, I love a free book. And so I want to share with you here. I got to pull it up. I thought I had it ready. Give me just a second. I'm going to get there. Okay. I'm going to share with you how you get this book. It is super simple. You just need to go to the gram. That's what the kids are calling Instagram now. This is my handle. This is Robbie's handle. You should follow us both. We're putting a ton of content out there all the time. You just need to DM us your email address. And that's it. DM us your email address over on Instagram, and we will go ahead and send you, my admin will send you information for how you can get a free discount code for the book. You just pay shipping and handling. This book will change your life and your business. I promise you. Robbie, give me some final thoughts.
You crushed it, my man. We created this blue book because we wanted to learn and advocate from the mistakes that you personally went through the pain that we've seen. And we knew there was a better way, and we beta tested this. Like, the funny thing is, this book could be 3 times the length if we talked about all the missteps we took.
Yeah.
We left a lot of that out. The failures, the first rendition of the showing partner model that you should never do, because we've tried it. I promise you, if you read this book, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We're more than willing to give clarity. If you do that and you put in the work, you're going to be one of the few agents who don't just survive changes like this. You thrive through it. So get your free stuff. And who doesn't like free things?
So those of you who are watching the replay, doesn't matter to us. You can go ahead and message us. We are here to help you win. If you want to bail now, you can. There's going to be some questions and answers. Those of you watching live, throw them in the Q&A spot, and we will answer everything that you have. Robbie, if you need to go ahead, but I got a few minutes that I'd love to answer some questions. So first question is this. If you have a large team, how would you start micro teams inside the large team? Oh, that is such a great question. Okay. The first thing is you have to find your stars, find your A players, find the people who are doing ample amounts of business. And then show them this. We have on our YouTube channel a plethora of videos that are going to walk you through how to do this partner model. Get them a copy of this book and help them to take on a partner. Instead of hiring new agents, you should look to go deep before you go wide. Go deep with who you currently have and build upon them to set them up for success. My friend Cindy in San Diego says, thanks for doing this. She's gained so much clarity in this hour that she's been looking for. Cindy, it is our pleasure. By the way, we're going to be out in San Diego in February doing a real event with Siri. So excited to see you then. All right. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, we are going to head out and grab some lunch. I don't see any coming in. So gang, thanks for tuning in. It has been a joy, an honor, and a pleasure. Get your free book, DM us on the gram, and we will catch you guys on the flippity flip.
Good seeing you, Hatch. Peace, y'all. Love y'all.